Welcome to this explainer. Look, I'm genuinely thrilled you're here today because we're diving into a topic that literally affects every single one of us, every single day. We're breaking down the core pillars behind 7 money rules that genuinely have the power to completely transform your financial future. Whether you're just starting out on your journey or you feel totally stuck in a financial rut right now, the principles we're exploring today are designed to give you absolute clarity, confidence, and control over your money.
But right out of the gate, before we even get into the rules, I want you to ask yourself a super direct question. Are you just trying to look rich, or are you actually building wealth? Seriously, take a second and be completely honest with yourself. How you answer that question is basically the foundation of your entire financial life, and it's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
All right, let's jump straight into rule number 1, the massive difference between being rich and being truly wealthy.
So, this one, it requires a total psychological shift. Society completely programs us to confuse looking rich with actually having wealth. We're constantly bombarded with the illusion of wealth, right? The designer clothes, the leased luxury cars, fancy dinners out every single weekend. And a lot of times, that lifestyle is entirely funded by debt. But true wealth building, it's kind of invisible. It's having that fully funded emergency fund safely tucked away. It's maxing out your retirement accounts and actually owning assets that pay you while you sleep. Chasing that whole looking rich illusion is the exact thing keeping so many people from ever finding true financial security.
And a huge part of this is just recognizing the everyday behaviors that keep us trapped. We're talking about things like lifestyle inflation. Getting a raise at work and immediately upgrading your car instead of boosting your savings. It's relying on credit cards to fund the lifestyle you just can't quite afford yet, or making impulse buys just to feel good in the moment, completely at the expense of your future self. Take a second and see if any of these habits resonate with you. And hey, if they do, that is totally okay. Recognizing the habit is literally the very first step to breaking it.
Okay, moving right along to rule number 2, the sheer power of saving.
Once we clear away those bad habits, we finally get to transition from playing defense to playing offense. Now, saving is the foundation of all wealth building. I really want you to let that sink in for a second. It sounds so incredibly basic, right? But paying yourself first, like before the landlord, before the credit card company, before the restaurants, is absolutely the most profound act of financial self-care you can do. Because if you don't save, you have zero capital to actually grow. It is without a doubt the undeniable starting line of your entire wealth journey.
Which brings us to rule number 3, and honestly, my favorite part, investing and compound growth.
So once you've got that solid savings foundation, things start getting really exciting. Now, if you've never invested before, I know it can feel like a totally foreign language, but the beginner investing mindset, it's really just a simple shift. You're shifting from working for your money to making your money work for you. Think of it this way. Every single dollar you save and invest basically becomes a tiny little employee, and they are working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they never, ever take a vacation. Your only goal right now is just to hire as many of those dollar employees as you possibly can.
And the exponential power of this is just mind-blowing. Think about how a compound growth trajectory works. It is definitely not a straight, predictable line. During the first 10 years, sure, your money grows a bit, but as we start hitting 20 and 30 years, it absolutely skyrockets. And why does it do that? Because of compound growth. Your money makes money, and then that new money turns around and makes even more money. It's exactly like a snowball rolling down a mountain, picking up speed and size until it turns into an absolute avalanche of wealth.
Seeing a massive return like 1,000%, that isn't magic. It's just the tangible, real-world power of time in the market. We're not talking about gambling here. We are talking about pure math. When you give your investments decades to compound, you aren't just doubling your money, you are literally multiplying it by hundreds or thousands of percent. Time is your single greatest wealth-building asset. Whatever you do not waste it.
All right, that brings us to rule number 4, which is a quick FitWithAli wellness break.
Look, building wealth is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And honestly, your physical health is quite literally your most valuable asset. After all, you're going to want to actually be healthy enough to enjoy all this wealth you're building, right? So, to keep your fitness and wellness game just as sharp as your financial game, make sure to check out FitWithAli at fitwithalihome.blogspot.com. They've got all the daily habits you need to build up the stamina for this long-term financial journey.
Okay, jumping right back in with rule number 5, income and financial discipline. Now we're entering what I like to call the advanced mastery phase. And here is just a hard mathematical truth we all have to accept. There is an absolute limit to how much you can save. I mean, you can cut coupons, you can cancel every single streaming subscription, you can cook every meal at home, but eventually you are going to hit a floor. However, there is absolutely no limit to what you can earn. So whether that means upskilling at your current job so you can negotiate a solid raise, starting up a side hustle on the weekends, or even turning a hobby into a full-blown business, actively focusing on increasing your income is the ultimate cheat code. That's what accelerates your wealth-building timeline from decades all the way down to just years.
But here's the catch. All the income in the world will not save you if you don't have financial discipline. Discipline means sticking to your long-term wealth strategy even when those short-term temptations are practically screaming your name. Discipline is really the essential glue that holds everything we've talked about today together. It's having the strength to walk past a huge sale. It's having the absolute fortitude to just leave your investments alone when the stock market gets a little scary. Ultimately, it's choosing what you want most for your future over what you want right now in the present.
We have covered some truly incredible ground in this explainer today. We've gone through the core principles that make up these life-changing rules of money. Everything from shifting your mindset away from just looking rich to harnessing the absolute magic of compound interest, and finally developing the rock-solid discipline required to actually see it all through. Your financial future is entirely in your hands, so you need to start building it today. You have the knowledge now. The only thing left in the equation is action. So I'll leave you with this. What is the absolute very first thing you are going to change today to start building true wealth? Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time.